bringing you news and information from around the Pacific Command. This is your AFN Pacific Report.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of AFN Pacific Report. I'm Senior Airman Therese Garnier. The annual U.S.-Philippine military training exercise, Balikatan, got underway last Friday in the Philippines. More than 8,000 Philippine and U.S. service members will take part in the bilateral exercise in various locations located throughout Luzon. Service members will conduct humanitarian civic assistance projects, while medical personnel will offer free medical, dental, and veterinary care. Military engineers will construct and repair schools and other community infrastructure in selected communities during the exercise, scheduled to end April 17th. The state of Hawaii has a long and close history with the U.S. military, and that special relationship extends to the state's political leaders.
We honor members of the Armed Forces of the United States with ties to Hawaii.
The Hawaii State Legislature held a joint session for a ceremony to honor fallen heroes.
So gallantly.
The state awarded its highest honor, the Hawaii Medal of Honor, to 19 military members who lost their lives in service to their country.
This is not an honor that we bestow with joy. Rather, we do so with heavy hearts and solemn resolve. Collectively, as a state, we have made it our mission to express our deepest appreciation to these brave men and women.
The medal is awarded to service members who were from Hawaii, attended school here, or were stationed at one of the military bases in the state.
It doesn't matter whether a sailor, soldier, airman, or Marine grew up in Hawaii or called Hawaii home for only a short period of time. Their warrior spirit will always be a part of our islands. And it doesn't matter whether the families of our heroes were from here or the mainland. Your loss is our loss.
Family and friends of several of the recipients were at the ceremony to receive the medals in person and experience the state's gratitude.
They want to see where their loved one trained and lived. But I think when you talk to them today after the ceremony, there's a realization that really our state cares about them and their family and the person that they lost.
Here to receive his medal is his parents, Thomas and Deborah Logan.
Tom Logan, the father of one of the men honored at the ceremony, agrees.
It's a feeling that you can't express sometimes. And to see this happen today with everybody here, it put us over the top.
His son, Marine Corporal Joseph Logan, was an aerial observer stationed at Marine Corps Base Hawaii and was killed as a result of a helicopter crash in Afghanistan.
Well, he was our G.I. Joey, and he loved the Marine Corps. That's what he loved to do. He loved to fly, and the rest of the family was 100% behind him.
This is the 8th year the state has held a Medal of Honor ceremony, a solemn annual tribute, an example of Hawaii's deep respect for and strong bond with the military. Tech Sergeant Michael Jackson, Honolulu, Hawaii.
The January grounding and subsequent decommissioning of USS Guardian left the crew without a ship. Now, these Sasebo-based sailors have a new ship to call home.
After running aground back in January, the crew of USS Guardian was without a ship for more than a month. Today, they get their new ship.
Today's when the USS Warrior is coming to Sasebo, Japan. It's going to replace USS Guardian, and we're welcome to have it as our new home.
So behind us you can see the USS Warrior. That's the Guardian crew's new ship. She's on the back of the Super Servant. That vessel actually sinks in the water. They move the Warrior on. It floats up and was towed all the way here from Bahrain.
Though Guardian crew members have been without a ship, it does not mean they've been on vacation.
In the time that we've had between moving from ship to ship, we've been doing a lot of studying, getting ready for advancement, getting ready for the new ship with our EOS programs and engineering programs.
And even though they've been staying busy, the crew can't wait to have their new home.
We're excited. We've been waiting on the USS Warrior to arrive in Sasebo, Japan. We've been training like how we fight, and we just can't wait to get back out to sea.
So it's been difficult for the crew, both officers and enlisted, not having a ship. Sometimes there's a sense of confusion. Who are we? What are we doing here? We don't really know. But now with Warrior arriving, we have a clear purpose.
And now with that purpose in mind, the crew can get busy getting their new ship ready for sea. Petty Officer Che Rose, Fleet Activity, Sasebo, Japan.
American and Japanese airmen train together on Cadena's flight line to ensure they can bring aircraft to a safe stop at a moment's notice.
When an aircraft needs to make an emergency landing, airmen in the 554th Red Horse Squadron can deploy a mobile aircraft arresting system anywhere needed.
Different terrains and in different areas, we have different ways of setting it up. We can set it up in the grass. Sometimes we have to set it up like on the concrete, like right next to the runway.
But as part of Exercise Silver Flag, the 554th shared their knowledge with the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force.
This is their first time installing the MAS. They've been doing really well at it. They're catching on really quick, and it's been going really well out here.
During an emergency or deployment, Red Horse can catch a pilot on short notice.
Say if the runway gets blown up and we have to use like a different section of the runway, we can install this in 36 minutes.
The hard work these engineers practice now can help save lives later. Lance Corporal Tyler Mitchell, Kadena Air Base, Japan.
It's been said in certain circles that pilots are the ones who get all the glory. That may be true, but there's at least one pilot in Korea who knows that glory depends a great deal on someone else putting in long hours.
High speed.
He's one of our star crew chiefs.
Quick on his feet.
And what is the importance of this?
As the main rotor headed holds the helicopter up.
Allows one man to enjoy his job.
Well, in my opinion, I think I got probably one of the best jobs in the Army. We get to wake up every day going in knowing that we're probably going to fly an awesome platform to some really cool places.
The only way to get to some of these cool places relies heavily on one sharp person.
All right. First, just give me your first name, last name, and spell it for me, please.
Spell it.
The crew chiefs have probably the hardest job in aviation for all platforms. When our job is pretty simple. We show up, we do our planning, we get in the aircraft, we go fly, and then our duty day pretty much ends then. The crew chiefs show up before we do. They do all the maintenance. They typically go fly with us. And then once we hit the ground and we head out the door, they have to stay around and make sure they put the aircraft away and it's mission ready for the next day. So they put in a lot of long hours. They do a lot of hard work, and it's really a tough job for them, and I have nothing but the greatest respect for them.
I wanted to deal in aviation. So, I love to fly.
I've only known him for a few months. I've only been on the ground here for about 4 months and some change. So I'm still working my way into the company, but for the most part, from what I've seen, star player.
Senior Airman James Bueller, Beeson Communication Site, Korea.
Coming up, students at Yokota raise autism awareness. But first, let's take a look around the Pacific Command in today's snapshots.
Navy steelworkers bolt together a metal structure as part of a building construction project in Hawaii. Military leaders at Kadena Air Base encourage middle schoolers to stay fit during a hero hike event. Marines and sailors help to raise the foundation of an elementary school in the Philippines to prevent future flooding. And that's a look around the Pacific Command in today's snapshots.
Working with children isn't a calling for everyone. But there's one teacher at Camp Casey who not only found her calling, but in doing so earned recognition for doing it very well.
And I opened that up and I just cried, like thinking, wow, me, like that parent, picked that out in me.
This Casey Elementary School first grade teacher cried tears of joy and surprise as she opened a letter last year from one of her students' parents, nominating her as the Teacher of the Year for 2013. And to her surprise, she won.
It's cool. It's an honor that I probably would have never ever envisioned myself sitting here across from you talking about being Teacher of the Year.
This 33-year-old military spouse and teacher of 10 years from Iowa won this recognition by dedicating her career to the military children of Area 1's Casey Elementary School.
Think about your prediction, boys. Kids need connections. They need to know that an adult believes in them and cares about them. And for these kids, it's not just the adults that are at home with them, but it's also the people that they encounter every day, which is their teachers.
Her dedication to her students and continuous efforts at involving the parents in the learning process is just part of a long list of reasons why the Korean school district chose her as the Teacher of the Year. Army Sergeant Kelly Anderson, Camp Casey, Korea.
Each April 2nd, the international community celebrates Light It Up Blue to commemorate World Autism Awareness Day. Students at Yokota Air Base wanted to support that event and Autism Awareness Month, so they got busy with their arts and crafts.
These students at Yokota's Mendel Elementary School are preparing to help raise autism awareness, and they're doing it with crafts. Blue lanterns, to be exact.
You got to put glitter or stickers or draw whatever you wanted on there to make the autism people feel happy.
Blue is the color of autism awareness, and on April 2nd, hundreds of thousands of homes and communities around the world do their part by lighting themselves up in blue. These students are getting in on the action, helping one another with their projects while helping raise awareness of a medical condition that affects 1 in 88 American children. The lanterns showcase the support around Yokota Air Base for families who have children with special needs. Airman First Class Miranda Wireman, Yokota Air Base, Japan.
In Japan, cherry blossoms symbolize peace, prosperity, friendship, and beauty. All of those were on full display at this year's International Friendship Cherry Blossom Festival at Sasebo Naval Base.
It's springtime, and in Japan, that means time for cherry blossoms, or sakura. Every year, Fleet Activity Sasebo gets together with members of the local community to hold the International Cherry Blossom Friendship Festival. Renowned the world over, sakura have come to represent many things to many people.
Over time, these beautiful trees have become an iconic symbol and a very visible reminder of the deep bond between the United States and Japan. They are an emblem of the longevity and strength of our bilateral relationship. Thank you to all of you, the citizens of Sasebo, for your cooperation and friendship towards the United States Navy. We are all honored to call Sasebo home.
Petty Officer Houston Waters, Fleet Activities Sasebo, Japan.
That's it for this newscast. From all of us here at AFM Pacific, thanks for watching.